All right, Shalom. Uh, First and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders, and salutations to all you brothers laboring in sincerity and in all true humility. All right. Basically, we just want to do a quick lesson dealing with the fact that the Most High always dealt with small numbers. All right. He always dealt with a precious few. That's how the Lord always did things. He will always confound a multitude with a small number or a chosen few. All right, which basically gives validity to the fact that the Lord is only dealing with his elect or a chosen number of people. All right, and we want to get a few examples out of the scriptures to show that the Most High always dealt with small numbers. He doesn't care about multitudes. The Most High doesn't care about great numbers, because power doesn't always lie within numbers like this world teaches.
Right.
You know, you don't need great numbers. You know, you can put the biggest military together with so many people, but that still don't mean that military can't be defeated.
That's right.
You know, it's the same thing with you know, this truth, man. The Lord is only dealing with a certain number of men that's gonna get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and then in due time, they're also gonna be the ones to lead the charge in governing the planet Earth and taking down the nations and ruling the planet Earth in righteousness under the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, so we want to get some scriptures and just bring out key points.
I'll bring this
All
verse.
right, go ahead.
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die."
So that's the prophecy which we know about. We all bring this out concerning the 2/3 of Israel that's going to be destroyed. So that lets you know off top that the Lord is not dealing with a huge group. He doesn't care about dealing with the majority. He's only dealing with a small select few. All right, the Lord always dealt in that fashion. All right, go ahead.
It says, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
The third, so if you know your math, we understand that a third is lesser than 2 parts.
Yep.
All right, 2/3 of the pie is a bigger portion than 1 piece of the pie.
And if for the actual mathematics of that number is we'll round it up to 67%,
Yep.
and 33%
Yep.
is the 1/3. So the smaller is about half.
Yep.
Half of the 2 parts.
Yep. So, you know, the Lord, that's how he always dealt, man. So that's why when you come into this thing, you can't be concerned about the amount of fruit you got, how many people is in your camp, you know, how deep you might be, because the Lord could trim that off.
Yeah.
Just because you deep, that don't mean that you ain't got no fat in you know what I'm saying, in your congregation.
Right.
The Lord trim that fat and you'll be few again.
And he's gonna trim anything that's fat. If he don't need it, in which he don't need us at all for this. So if there's any inconsistency or just unrighteousness in you that he don't like, he just gonna trim and get rid of it.
That's right.
So we all pray that we walk straight and we can deal with all the affliction and have the right character to be considered worthy of salvation.
That's right. And like, you know, and I'm gonna quote what the elders and apostles say that concerning the precious few, the Lord is dealing with quality and not quantity.
Right.
You know?
Like IUIC and those other groups, they want the big numbers. They want big old lavish camps, like especially with those purple jersey shirts that IUIC wears. they like to stand up there in big numbers, and you see like an army standing up there, but that's not what this is about. We don't need to be standing up there 15, 20, 100 strong, in force and sight. Yep. Versus we'd rather have 4, 5, 10, small number of just real solid men that the Lord is dealing with.
That's right. That's right. You got that in Deuteronomy?
Come. Let me start at 6 or just straight to 7?
You can start at 6.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Yep.
The Lord thy God, Yahweh, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Yep.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Lord is basically severing one nation of people to 17 other nations of people. Mm-hmm. Because if you know about the table of nations, there are 18 nations. The Lord took only one nation from that entire chart of nations and kept it to himself.
Right.
So he basically is proven through that example that the Lord is only dealing with quality and not quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Yeah, that's the point. Mm-hmm. It's not because y'all a great multitude, because the Lord did end up multiplying us. That we became as the sands of the sea. Mm-hmm. But even though he made us a huge nation in multitude, he's still only dealing with just a select few out of that big nation.
Yep.
Israel is a big nation. Israel is consisted of a company of nations. There's 12. Each tribe is a nation within itself.
That's right.
But the Lord is only going to take a certain amount of men from each tribe and is going to deliver them. 12,000 from each tribe. When we know there's possibly in the millions of people from each tribe.
It says, for ye were the fewest of all people.
For you were the fewest. All right? You were the smallest in number of all the people. When we went into Egypt, we came in with 70 souls.
Mm-hmm.
We came in very small. But the Most High ended up making us big over the course of time when we was in captivity, and we came out a big nation.
Yep.
And the Lord was dealing with us. Go ahead.
I was into that.
Con. Get Second Esdras for me in the Apocrypha. The fifth chapter in
Second Esdras 5?
Yeah. Second Esdras, the 5th chapter, around 20. Salakia. The 27th verse.
Come. It is the 27th. It says,
Matter of fact, start at 24 and read down to 27.
Come.
Because the Lord's basically finna show you what he deems as his favorites.
I'm gonna start 23.
Things that he chose for himself. Out of the multitude of other things or variety of things on the planet Earth, the Lord always had a special or something precious to himself. And the Lord always dealt like that. Just like Yahweh Shai himself, his firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
That's his precious. Yahweh Shai is precious to the Most High, because that was his firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
And then Israel, pursuant to Exodus, the 4th chapter, in the 22nd verse, Israel is the Most High's firstborn. Right? Go ahead, get that for me.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 23. And said, O Lord, thou bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof.
Yep.
Thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
Yep.
And all the lands of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit.
Yep.
And of all the flowers thereof one lily.
Why didn't the Most High choose fucking Africa? And why didn't he choose Australia or something like that, man?
Mm-hmm.
Or Why didn't he choose a multitude of lands? No, he only chose one land. That was Jerusalem. And this one of the smallest pieces of land.
Yeah, it's a slither.
It's a little slither piece of land, man.
Yeah.
It ain't even that big of a piece of land. But the Lord, the Most High, put his name on it.
Mm-hmm.
He chose that land for his people.
Because the quality of that land is better than the quantity of that land.
That's right.
Just like we said about the people.
That's right.
Keep reading. It says, verse 25, and of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river.
Mm-hmm.
And of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself.
Yep.
And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove.
So the Most High likes dove. He loved doves, right? He chose doves as his favorite of the fowls of the air. Go ahead.
And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people.
Out of all the multitudes of the people, thou hast gotten thee only one people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead.
It says, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all.
That's right. And we're the only ones that he gave the law to. You know? Because he wanted us. Once he choose a people, now he's finna give you the instructions, the guidelines of how to live on the planet Earth to those people that he chose to represent him.
Yep.
And those people in turn would teach the rest of the nations.
Yep.
Showing that Israel is quality to the Most High rather than the other nations, which are the heathens.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now going back to Deuteronomy 7:7, when you look up the word fewer in the Hebrew, the Hebrew word there is ma'ait, which basically means littleness, few, a little, fewness, little, small, littleness, too little, yet a little, right? Hardly, just, shortly, little worth, very small, all right? So you get the idea, you know? So the Lord, you know, he uses small numbers, man. He can take 2 men and take down a whole city.
Mm-hmm.
And that's recorded all throughout our history when you read it in the scriptures. You know, Levi and Simeon, they went to a whole village of Canaanites and slew their whole village up.
Yep.
Over their sister.
Yeah, Medina.
You know, they didn't go and get the rest of the brothers. You know, come on, brothers, all y'all, we need y'all. Come on, let's go. We need all 12.
13, I think, at that point.
13, right? You know, so we need y'all because we need to go and avenge our sister. No, they went by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out there and they slew them Hamites, man. There was only just 2 men, a couple of men.
Right. They did the double dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's say it that way.
Hey,
2 men.
Like on the Bruce Lee movies, man.
Yeah.
Every time Bruce Lee would go to a school, he gonna take out the whole school.
Yep.
You know?
Small number.
Small number. That's it.
Add something kind of quick to tie into the quality. This ties into quality, not quantity.
Okay.
This is Hebrews 8:6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point, really, in itself. The more excellent ministry is those that are more faithful, more humble, more brotherly than the whole nation. You know, that have the understanding that the Most High gave them than the whole nation.
Yep.
You know, I finished off the scripture anyway. It says, but now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, because originally it was the original covenant was for the whole nation of Israel.
Yep.
But then in the New Testament, the New Covenant, he only gonna take an elect out of that.
Yep.
And then give them the salvation and not the whole nation the salvation. He's gonna bring them back, that, and Yahweh Shai is gonna be the mediator for that.
Right. meaning the second covenant, all Israel is going to pertain to it, but the 2/3, the great multitude of our people, they're not going to be able to taste of that until they in the kingdom when they come back.
After death by pain.
Because they're going to get the law, statutes, commandments written in their hearts when they come back. They're going to come back righteous.
But they're not going to get the salvation from this life to the next life. They got to go through the death process.
Yep.
You know, that hard life, that painful death first.
Yep.
To get cleansing first to go through it.
Yep.
And just to finish us, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's it getting written in our hearts.
That's right.
But that more excellent ministry is what I was talking about. You know, this is, he took some out of 144,000 and 1/3 out of the whole nation of Israel to be that.
That's right.
What did you want next?
Leviticus 26 verses I think 6,
7, and 8. I think. Leviticus chapter 26. Chapter 26, verse 7 and 8. It says, "And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Yep.
And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight."
So imagine that, man. You got a few brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's a few of you. And y'all, you know what I'm saying, the Most High to indulge you with that spiritual power.
Mm-hmm.
And you just running through everything. You know? And he's only using just five men to run through 100.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those men are precious, man.
And 100 through 10,000.
Yeah. You know? So that shows you the Lord he always dealt in small numbers, man. He always dealt in small numbers. So when it comes to this truth, you think he needs all those men? Because the Lord said in Ezekiel, if you can get it real quick, he's only dealing with a small sanctuary, man. If I recall, you got it. Ezekiel 11 and 16.
That's right. Yep.
The way the Lord deals in war, we're using just a few men to confound a many or a multitude. It's the same thing in the truth. Yep. It's only going to be elect men that got the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. They got the mysteries, you know, and they're going to be the solid teachers that's going to wake up the elect. All right, and once the elect is waking up, that's it. Everybody else, they already gonna have their role in their destruction. You know, they wasn't part of the fish that got brought in, and that was meant to endure.
Sure.
You know, get that for me.
This is Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. It says, "Therefore say, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come."
I will be to you a little sanctuary in the countries. So that means you're going to have small groups of men that the Lord is dealing with in all 4 corners of the earth. You know? That's going to be fishing for the elect. Those few men that's going to be out there teaching, they're only looking for a few men.
As brother said, a few good men, like the movie.
Yep.
We only need a few of them. We don't need the big multitude of show of force.
That's right.
You know? And that should scare you, you Edomites out there too, you elites out there. Because imagine the power that these few men are going to have.
Yep.
You know? 5 people chasing 100 and 100 chasing 10,000.
Yep.
That should scare you.
Yep. That shows you what type of force, what type of power that they're going to be coming with, man. They coming with the power from heaven.
Right.
The power from heaven can only work with a select group. You know?
And the Most High either made you built for this or you're not. That's just what it is. And Lord willing, we are.
That's right.
What you want next?
Uh,
Maccabees, you wanted else we had? No, you want the one in Samuel? I mean, Judges?
Yeah, you can get that story.
Yeah.
Just to go into the battles that we used to have. You know, when during the time of the judges, when we didn't have a king yet. You know, we had rulers and we had judges, but we didn't have a king yet. But even then, every time we would go into captivity, you know, we have a oppressing nation over us. You know, and the Most High, once we get tired of it and we start to repent and cry to the Lord would set up a ruler and only a select group of men to go out and battle for Israel to basically turn the captivity back.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And this is one of the examples here. If brothers, you know, brothers in the know, is talking about when Gideon was he was a ruler, he was a judge at the time. You know, and he fought in battle. He was a great warrior.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
This is Judges chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 3. Yes, it says, "Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead."
Yeah, if you scary, then just fall back.
Yep.
You know, just fall back. This ain't for you. You know.
That's what we say now too.
Yeah. We say that to guys that think about
count
coming into
cost,
this.
Man.
You better count the
It's
cost,
gonna
man.
get scary on this side.
Yeah. For real.
It says, and there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000.
So it was 22. It started with 22,000, and then it reduced 32,000. So like 32,000, and the number reduced to how many people?
10,000.
10,000. So that means 22,000 men was scary.
Yep.
They all, a great multitude, fell back.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
2/3.
Fell back. That's 2/3. They was too afraid to, you know. Go ahead.
It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them down to the water, and I will try them for thee there.
Yeah, he said, it's too many of them. We don't need all these jakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord basically gave him the order to do a test.
Mm-hmm.
To weed out the ones that really wasn't solid.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, and I will try them for thee there, and it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, and the same shall go with thee, and of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go.
Yep.
So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Gideon, every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink.
Yep. So basically, if you, all the men who leap down in the water and basically
drink
right from the water without, you know, stepping down and putting their hands and doing it like this,
mm-hmm.
you know, those men, they were the ones, like, you get them, right? Go ahead.
And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand in their mouth, were 300 men.
Yep.
But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. So that's what, 10. That's 9,700.
Yep.
That drank right from the river instead of putting their hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he didn't even want them. He wanted the smallest of the two.
The smallest of them.
So he only wanted 300.
300. Yep.
So
he reduced the numbers, man.
Yep.
Showing you the Lord ain't dealing with great numbers, man. It ain't about a large multitude of men. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's proof in itself.
That's like the movie 300. They
right.
went against the whole army of Xerxes, which were the Persians.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they lost at the end of that battle, but I mean,
mm-hmm.
they held it down. They wasn't supposed to get that far.
Yep.
Just for movie reference.
Yep.
Yeah, that was And I'll read verse 7 also. It says, "And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place."
Yep. That was a lot of men that had to fall back.
So out of 32,000, 300, he broke it down to 300.
Man. Yep.
Man.
So the Lord, that's how he constantly get down. Yep. He'll start you off with a large group, but he will chop it down, man, because it ain't necessarily like we were just saying before.
Mm-hmm.
When what there's more of is less value. When there's
right,
what there's more of is less value.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's fewer, what there's fewer of is more precious.
I'll give an example.
Mm-hmm.
Say if I have a nugget of gold, right? It's valuable because no one else has it, just me. I have this one nugget. I'm the only one with a nugget of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if everybody, if the whole town, 300 people or whatever, have a nugget of gold, nobody cares. There's no value in it. There's no demand for it. Nobody wants the nugget of gold because it's not worth nothing. Everybody, oh, you just got a regular old piece of gold. It's not worth nothing. It's like the money system today.
Yep.
You know, there's dollar bills and 20s and 5s and whatever else just running around rampant, but there's no value in it because there's so much of it. It's too much for the amount of gold that's supposed to back it.
That's right.
You know, so it's not the same value. That's why everything costs more.
That's right.
It's because the value's down. The price, it ain't that the price has gone up. The value's gone down.
Yeah.
So if something was, you would need, say what you used to pay for, I don't know, let's say a candy bar was a nickel. Now it's $1 because the value of the money isn't worth the same.
Yep.
Even if the same product is still worth the same.
Yep.
You know, the value is down, so it costs more. It's more of it. So this is, you know.
And I'm gonna give another analogy. The ratio of men and women.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
The man, we all know the man is more precious than the woman in the eyes of the Lord, not only because he chose man, but because women do outnumber the men.
Yep.
And if you do like your statistical studies, Esau does his census or his consensus or whatever, and he'll have you believe that there's actually more men than women.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he never counts out the fact that, especially dealing with Jake, I'm gonna just use Jake for an example. With Jake, the odds is more so against the man than the woman in his society. The man is locked up; he's in prison. So there goes the amount of black men and Hispanic and Native American men. Their lives are pretty much out of there because they're locked up.
Mm-hmm.
You got the men that are dying at an early age, right? And it's a fact that men die at an earlier age than women do.
By violent crime also. Just to add that statistic.
And by natural cause.
Mm-hmm.
You got the homosexuality, the homo rate.
Yep.
So it's a lot more of those
That's
men.
chopping both, but it's affecting the men as well. It's not only affecting women.
Yeah. So really, there's lesser real men than there are a lot of women.
I just because you said it, now I gotta read it. I had it and just didn't read it.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And the Most High said in Isaiah 30, is that where you're going to?
13,
a man shall be.
Yep. Isaiah 13:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
That's right, man.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Yeah, so the Most High is gonna make the man more precious than fine gold. Because the time that we coming into, it's gonna be so many men that's gonna be eliminated, man. The only men that's gonna be standing are his chosen. Them gonna be the only real men out here. All right. So the Most High finds those men precious. Yep. All right. And those women, it's gonna be so many of them that they're gonna be looking for a man of the Lord in that day. That's why I said in our prophecy of Isaiah 4:1, seven women shall take hold of one man.
Yep.
Cause he gonna be that man that's gonna be more precious than fine gold.
Yep.
All right.
Ain't gonna be. It's like Book of Eli. There's not a lot. There was a lot of men. There was some females in the movie, but when she ran it, when all the women that ran across Eli, they was trying to tag along with him.
That's right.
No, take me with you, please.
Yep.
Like nah, no, you can't come with me. Hell no.
Yep. Yep. You got that in Maccabees?
Yep. You said
it's another story dealing with Judas. You know, the Maccabees, the brothers, and when they was going out to war, you know.
It was the 3rd chapter, right?
Yeah, the 3rd chapter.
You know.
Around. Let me get
yeah, I thought you had it. 17 maybe.
Yeah, around like 15.
Start
around
okay,
like 15.
First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 15. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him.
Yeah, this is when he was going to fight with the Greeks in Syria. All right, in Syria and in the forces of Samaria. Go ahead.
It says, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. It says, and when he came near to the going up of Beth Horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
Yeah, with a small company, a small group. Well, a few men. Go ahead.
It says, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
Yeah, so they was lacking faith because they like, well, first of all, they outnumber us by many, and 2, we're weak because we've been fasting. You mean to tell me we're gonna fight all these guys while we're weak right now? We ain't had nothing to eat in days, and we finna go up and fight with these men? So they was lacking faith, right? But they didn't understand the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man.
That's right.
But the Lord was dealing with them for that brief moment. Go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
That's it.
And with the Most High of heaven, Yahweh, it is all one to deliver a great multitude or a small company.
Yep.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
That's it. That's plain. All right. It can be just a few of y'all, man. Y'all could be very frail. You know, you don't have the same strength that Iron Mike had, or you know, them big giant mighty men. It could just be a few frail men that look like they don't have that kind of strength.
Like Salaki, but
King
David was
in Goliath.
Yeah,
man.
Goliath was huge, man. It's like, oh, and a lot of them look back was like, hey, you see that big ass dude over there, man? He gonna fuck us up. And King David was like, the Most High is with us.
That's right.
Ain't nobody. Matter of fact, give me this rock. And slung it and boom, and took him down, chopped his head off, and pranced around with it.
That's right.
Paraded around with the head of Goliath.
That's right, man.
The Philistine.
That's right, man. That's it on that.
Yeah.
Get Second Ezra's now. Second Ezra's 8th chapter.
8, yeah.
So we just showed you the aspects of battle, how the Lord only dealt with small numbers when it comes to battle. Now it's the same way, like we were saying earlier, it's the same thing in this truth. This truth is only meant, all the men that's gonna endure, that's gonna last, it's only meant for a select few men, a small number of men. Not everybody is gonna make it through this thing, man. It's all over all the course of time, all those years that this truth been out, so many men that came into this thing, and a lot of them then fell out.
Yep.
A lot of them. That's the Most High basically trimming the fat. He always cut down on a multitude of men.
Yep.
Because he's only dealing with his select few. His precious. His peculiar, man. Get that for me in Second Esdras.
This is Second Esdras chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, The Most High, Yahweh, hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
Yeah, like this current world is made for many, man. All the nations, they're ruling on the planet Earth right now. Even though Esau is at the top, you know. But everybody done had their lot on this side. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Did you want to read verse 2?
Yeah, read verse 1 again.
Okay, it says, And he answered me, saying, The Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
But the world to come is a few. And we understand when you go to the next chapter, the chapter before that, in Second Esdras, the 6th chapter, 7th chapter, it says that the world was made for Israel's sake.
Oh,
all right?
Chapter says, yeah.
And in the 6th chapter, and it also says that the end of this world is the end of Esau, and the beginning of the next world is Jacob.
Yep.
All right. So it's only going to be one nation of people that's going to be ruling the kingdom. All right. And it's only going to start with the elect, which is going to be a small group of men that's actually going to be governing the earth under the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, with Yahweh Shai being the head, the king. All right. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse.
You read 1, right?
Yeah.
All right. I read down to 3.
Okay. Verse 2 says, I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold thereof, earthen vessels are made, and little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world.
Yep.
There be many created, but few shall be saved.
So there be many created, but there's only going to be few that's going to make it. All right, it's only going to be a few select men that's going to make it into the kingdom. When you bring out the list of things that the scriptures say that if you are guilty of these things, that you're not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven, majority of our people are into those things, man.
Yep.
When it says the idolaters ain't going to make it, the adulterers ain't going to make it, the extortioners, the thieves, you know, the effeminate,
disobedient,
the disobedient.
It's a
that broadens a big spectrum of people, man.
Yep.
Because you can place all those people into those different categories. That alone shows you that a lot of people ain't gonna make it. All right, and you had some of the elect that had their lot at one point in time in those categories, but the Most High cleansed them and woke them up, and they came back to the fold, and they were part of that number. But that's only for a select few men. And that's the reason why those particular said men are going to be the only ones that's going to make it.
Yep.
All right. That was it on that one.
Yeah.
Get Isaiah. Was it the 10th chapter? 10 and 20.
Okay, Isaiah 10 and 20. And there shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
That's the elect.
Yep, in the 1/3. Yep.
In the 1/3, man. That's his chosen right there. That's the remnant, the ones that are left. Right? Keep going. Read down to the 22nd verse.
Kind of says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power.
Yep. So only a select few is going to return to our holy land when Yahweh Shai comes back and redeem Israel. All right. Go ahead.
It says, verse 22. It says, "For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea,
Yep.
yet a remnant of them shall return."
So out of many, it's going to be one one select few, man. And what's funny is after I just made that statement, I just thought about something. Isn't that what the New World Order is trying to, the elites on the left-hand side trying to do?
Yep.
They trying to make a one-world government, you know what I'm saying? What did Obama say? Out of many, few?
Yeah.
Right? But that's on the left-hand side.
Yep.
You know?
Like the Georgia Guidestones.
Like the Georgia Guidestone. They got a select few. They got a chosen.
Mm-hmm.
All the elites. But they want to eliminate 6.5 billion of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Reduction.
6.5 billion people off the earth down to 500 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
You know how many millions are in 6.5 billion?
Yep. That's right, man. So, but let's go on the right hand side. The Most High, he's trying to do a reduction himself with his people.
Mm-hmm. That's what Esau got the idea from, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And the Most High is using Esau to take out a big amount of Jake, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's using Esau for that reduction. You know?
Yep.
You finished
a little more. It says,
go ahead.
Verse 22 at the top, it says, "For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant out of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness."
That's right, man. You know? And that's what it's going to be. Because it's going to be, once the elect are finally delivered and saved, and the kingdom is established, that's when righteousness is going to flourish again on the planet Earth. Mm-hmm. It's going to start with Yahweh Shai and his chosen men. That's when righteousness is going to be pushed out again. All right? Yeah, that was it on that. Yeah. Get one more scripture. Give me 1 Peter 2 and 6. Okay.
It's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. "Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded."
Now it said elect, precious. And we understand that cornerstone is talking about Yahweh Shai, man.
The word elect says chosen.
Chosen. So Yahweh Shai was the first chosen. All right? And it said, when it said elect, it also said precious.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, let me look up the word precious.
Yep.
Let me look that word up.
That script is quoting Isaiah 28:16.
Precious. It says from the definition. Hold on, I don't want the damn movie. That wasn't nothing precious about that fat bitch, man. That shit was an abomination. That was nasty, man. There wasn't nothing precious about that. Get the definition real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Precious, of an object, substance, or resource of great value, not to be wasted or treated carelessly.
Yep.
Valuable, costly, expensive.
Yep.
Right?
Expensive. We're bought with a price.
That's right.
From Yahweh Shai.
That's right, man.
You know? Act accordingly.
Used as a term of address to a beloved person.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Something you don't want to... It's like we're talking about the gold analogy, gold nugget analogy, right? You don't... If everybody has one, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell mine because there's more of them. to get whatever something else that I want.
Right.
But if I have the only one, I'm gonna be reluctant to get rid of it. It's gonna have to be really, really good, something more precious than what I have, or at least as precious, for me to give up my precious nugget.
That's right.
There's more on here too.
Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, 1 Peter 2 and 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense. Now, all of these is another way that the multitude can stumble. There's too many occasions for y'all to stumble.
Yahweh Shai is their stumbling block.
Yep.
That's proof right in itself.
Yep.
The Yahweh Shai is a stumbling block for majority of our nation, because majority of Israel rejected him anyway.
Yep. When he was first on the scene.
When he was on the scene.
Yep.
The scribes and Pharisees didn't want to deal with him. The people of his own countrymen and family, they didn't want to deal with him. You know. So he's a stumbling block to those people, man. The ones that gave him up on the cross.
Yeah.
All those spirits are back today, and them the ones that are being judged as we speak. They're the ones that can't get it. They can't understand the knowledge, wisdom, understanding the breakdowns. They don't believe in Yahweh Shai. All right. The Most High is using Esau to take them out. You know, you just had a Issacharite that just got Michael. He got Michael Brown. Down there in Texas, man.
Yep. On camera, hands up.
On camera with his hands up.
Hands up, don't shoot.
He got Mike Brown.
Blah,
man.
blah, blah. And they waited till his hands was up.
Yeah, and the Lord did that to him, man. The Lord killed that guy.
And really, that's a sign for you Northern Kingdom, you Hispanics, natives, you South Americans, you Central Americans. It's really for y'all, man. No matter where you're at, scattered throughout the Tainos and Aztecs and all of you different tribes, man, out there of the Northern Kingdom that's been in the Americas, kissing the white man's ass. Brazilians, Cubans, Dominicans, all y'all, man. That's for y'all to wake up and see. You know, that goes for all of them. The Chileans, all of y'all, man.
That's right.
That's for y'all to wake up and see, like, hey, we're going through the same shit that these Negroes is going through.
Yep.
So we the same people going through the same shit. We live in the same neighborhoods and all of that. We the same people. Don't let that be an offense to you just because your king is a Negro. If you really think about it, we some of our best friends with each other. We identify with each other closer than any other nation, any other type of people do. So don't let that be an offense to you.
Well,
you know, because it's gonna be few of y'all that make it. You know that y'all got big families and big numbers, so it's gonna be a
lot of y'all that's gonna get wiped out, man.
Yeah, that's just starting. That is about to happen to you. The same shit is about to happen to you.
Y'all finna start getting plucked off just like Judah. But guess what? It's all coming from the Most High himself.
Yep.
All right?
Because he's got to bring us back together as a small multitude.
That's
but
right.
of all of us, 10, 12,000 of each tribe,
That's
men.
Right.
And then the elect, the 1/3.
That's right. That was it on that.
Yeah.
If you had any more, that's it. Well, we can end it off with that. So you know, Lord willing, brothers is edified. And it just goes to show you, man, the Lord don't need a large group. You know, this ain't no race of seeing how many members of your camp that you can get, because this ain't about that, man. And we showed that throughout the scriptures, man. The Lord, and He don't care about that, man.
He'll get rid of them anyway.
He gonna get rid of them anyway, man. What the Lord don't need, he's gonna discard that, man.
Yep.
All right. So with that, you know. We're going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and a double honors to the apostles and elders, and salutations to all you brothers out there, man, and humility, man, feeding the flock. All right, and with that, Shalom.